Close your eyes now, breathe deeply and center yourself, not in the chaos around you, but in the stillness within. The world may rage, opinions may clash, and noise may rise like a storm, but you are not required to participate in that storm. You are not the echo of what is happening. You are the cause of what is to come. The outer world is only the mirror, and the mirror does not instruct the face. When life presses in and demands a reaction, do not give it your energy. Rise above it. Let it pass, as clouds pass before the sun. You are not the cloud, you are the light. To react is to descend into a state that is not your own. To rise is to remember the truth, that you are not ruled by what happens, you are ruled by what you accept as true within yourself. You must not allow circumstances to dictate your inner state. That is the mistake of the many. They wait for peace to be shown to them, unaware that peace must first be chosen within them. So choose it now. Feel it, not in response to what the world is doing, but because it is your nature. Calm is not the reward of a quiet life, it is the decision of a quiet mind. And the one who masters that calm commands the storm without ever raising their voice. Imagine now that you are standing in the middle of an argument, in the middle of betrayal, in the middle of misunderstanding, and yet nothing in you moves. Imagine how powerful you must be to witness chaos without absorbing it. That is true strength. That is true mastery. And that is how you rise. You rise not by controlling others, but by mastering yourself. You rise not by proving your point, but by holding your peace. You rise not by shouting louder, but by becoming so rooted in truth that the noise of the world cannot penetrate your stillness. And when you are still, you are powerful, because the world cannot move a soul that is already anchored. This is not weakness, it is dominion. It is the kingdom within. It is the silence that shapes mountains, the stillness that rearranges outcomes. When you remain unbothered, you are not ignoring reality. You are commanding a higher one. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to defend your name in every room where it is spoken. You do not need to chase validation. Your stillness is your response. Your elevation is your evidence. Stay in your power. Stay in your peace, because the moment you lower yourself to argue, to prove, to fight in the dust, you forget that you are the one seated in the heavens. The world will give you plenty of opportunities to react. That is its design. But those who are truly awakened know better. They know that every reaction is a surrender of creative power. They know that the moment they respond in haste, they have allowed the outer world to shape the inner man. So they stop. They breathe, they remember, and they return to their authority. There is nothing to defend when you know who you are. There is nothing to chase when you have already assumed the end. There is nothing to fear when you realize the world is only a reflection of the beliefs you hold firmly and quietly within. So do not react. Rise. Rise above gossip, rise above judgment, rise above fear. Rise above the temptation to explain yourself endlessly to those not ready to understand. Some will misread your calm as weakness, but let them, for they know not the fire you hold within. Some will call your stillness passivity, but they cannot see the mountains you are moving in silence. Let them speak. Let the waves crash. Let the winds howl. You are not the storm. You are the command that silences it. You are not the waves. You are the authority that says, peace, be still, and watches the waters obey. So stay there, stay calm, stay grounded, stay anchored in the unseen truth, and let the world adjust itself to your stillness. Let it bend to your peace. Let it realign to your clarity, because it always does. It always must. Keep breathing. Keep believing, keep rising. Do not let the outer world disturb the inner sanctuary. What you see with your eyes is not the final word. What you hear with your ears is not the ultimate authority. The truth lies deeper in the silence between thoughts, in the awareness that precedes every reaction. That is where your power lives. That is where you must return, again and again. Especially when the world would pull you out of yourself. You do not need to match the energy of what confronts you. You are not a mirror. You are the original. You are the scriptwriter, not the actor tossed around by the scene. Every moment that asks you to lower your vibration, every person who seeks to provoke, every circumstance that seems designed to agitate, these are invitations, not to react, but to remember, not to collapse, but to ascend. It is not that you do not feel. You feel everything. But you no longer let feelings command you. You observe them. You let them rise and fall like waves, knowing that you are the ocean. Anger may come, but it does not stay. Fear may whisper, but it does not take root. You are no longer a guest in your own consciousness. You are the host. You decide what is welcome and what is not. This is not detachment born of denial. This is mastery born of deep knowing. You are not aloof. You are anchored. You are not numb. You are neutral. And that neutrality is your power because it allows you to choose from vision, not from reflex. The man who reacts is led by the world. The man who remains unmoved leads the world. That is the secret. That is the path. You must become the one who sees the attack, but does not let it shape his self-image. You must become the one who witnesses loss, yet does not internalize defeat. You must become the one who hears the noise, but remains tuned only to the frequency of truth. Others may call this weakness, because they do not understand it. They believe strength is in the fist, in the raised voice, in the pointed finger. But true strength is in restraint. True power is quiet. It does not beg to be seen. It does not need to defend itself. It knows what it is, and what it is, what you are, is far greater than any circumstance that confronts you. You are not here to control others. You are here to command your own mind. And once you do that, everything else aligns. The world is not resisting you, it is reflecting you. If you meet fire with fire, you get more fire. If you meet it with stillness, the flame cannot spread. When you remain calm, the world becomes calm around you, not because the world changes, but because your inner state does. Imagine a situation that once triggered you. Someone lied to you, someone betrayed you, someone doubted you. In the past, you might have burned in response. Words thrown like daggers, silence used like punishment, retaliation disguised as righteousness. But now you see through it. You see it as an opportunity to return to yourself, not to lose yourself. You say nothing, you breathe, you affirm inwardly, I am untouched by this. I am not this reaction. I am the stillness behind it. And what happens? The power of the moment shifts. The energy loses its grip. You no longer feed the illusion. You no longer lend it your belief. You are free, not because the world became easier, but because you became unshakable. Freedom is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to walk through conflict without being dragged into its story. Peace is not the absence of noise. It is the refusal to let noise dictate your direction. You must live from the inside out, not the outside in. The moment you let the outer world decide who you are no longer living. You are reacting. You are no longer choosing, you are chasing. But you were not born to chase. You were born to create. And creation does not emerge from panic. It flows from presence, from poise, from the unbothered awareness that knows all things are unfolding for your good, whether the world sees it yet or not. So you stop proving, you stop pleading, you stop engaging in battles that cost you your peace. You do not need to win every argument. You do not need to correct every misconception. You do not need to teach every lesson. Sometimes your silence is your elevation. Your peace is your response. Let others wonder why you are so calm. Let them question your quiet. Let them project, misread, and mislabel. That is their lesson, not yours. You do not shrink to fit their narrative. You do not dim to make them comfortable. You shine quietly, steadily, endlessly. You rise. You rise not with effort, but with ease. Not with noise, but with knowing. Not with force, but with faith. Because you have seen the truth, all things respond to your inner conviction. So you do not panic when things look wrong. You do not grasp when things feel delayed. You do not fight the shadows. You turn on the light. You keep walking. You keep believing. You keep assuming the best even when you are shown the worst. You do not match energy. You raise it. You do not echo the world. You speak from the heavens. You do not get drawn into the narrative. You write a new one. When the door closes, you do not bang on it. You turn, you smile, and you walk toward the better one already forming. When the opportunity slips away, you do not chase. You remain still, knowing that what is meant for you does not run, it aligns. You understand that delay is not denial, it is redirection. And redirection is often the universe's protection in disguise. So you no longer fall apart when plans shift. You no longer spiral when people leave. You no longer question your worth when the outcome differs from your desire. You trust. You trust the timing. You trust the process. You trust yourself because you have realized, finally, that the only true loss is the loss of your center. And you will no longer surrender that, not for anyone, not for anything. The world will keep spinning, people will keep talking, storms will rise and pass. But you are the eye of the storm. You are the calm that remains. You are the stillness that creates worlds. So sit tall in your truth, stand strong in your peace, rest boldly in your knowing. And let every moment that tempts you to react be the very moment you choose to rise. You no longer chase outcomes because you know outcomes are drawn to identity, and you have assumed the identity of the one who is never shaken, never rushed, never thrown off course by appearances. You walk through the world not as one seeking confirmation, but as one revealing confirmation. You do not wait for peace. You are peace. You do not beg for answers. You are the answer in form. You do not react to chaos. You neutralize it with the quiet strength of your presence. When you enter a room, the energy shifts, not because of your words, but because of your being. The atmosphere bends to the tone you carry. You do not chase energy, you generate it. You do not need to raise your voice to be heard. You do not need to posture to be respected. Your presence speaks louder than performance. Your calm is louder than commotion. Your stillness sends a signal that others cannot ignore. To rise is not to avoid life, it is to meet life from the level of awareness, where you are no longer at the mercy of it. You do not deny that things happen, you deny their ability to define you. You no longer ask, why did this happen to me? You now declare, this happened for me. Because you know that everything, every delay, every betrayal, every closed door is working something eternal in you. Something deeper, something stronger, something untouchable. There is nothing noble in being tossed about by circumstances, but there is everything noble in choosing to remain unmoved. You do not numb yourself to reality, you transform it from the inside. You shift it, not by reacting, but by realizing that the outer condition is always the echo, never the origin. You hold the origin. You carry the seed. You decide what takes root and what withers through inattention. And what is planted in the soil of inner calm grows with sacred precision. Because when you plant your intentions in a field of peace, not panic, the earth responds. Doors open that were never there before. People arrive who carry keys to rooms you hadn't even considered. Opportunities rise not because you chased them, but because you aligned with them. You became the version of you who receives without resistance. And that version of you does not need to defend, deflect, or dominate. It simply dwells, in the knowing, in the truth, in the calm. You are not the puppet of the world, you are the author of it. And authors do not argue with the characters they created, they rewrite them, they refine them, they reshape them. So if your reality displeases you, you do not react to it, you recreate it. You go back into the silence, you enter the sacred sanctuary of assumption, you assume the state of calm, of completion, of confidence. And you persist there, not for 5 seconds, not for a moment, but until it hardens into fact. Do not be fooled by appearances. Do not rush to answer every voice that demands your attention. Most of them are echoes, not calls. Most of them are distractions, not directions. And if you listen closely, you'll hear something deeper beneath all the noise. A whisper from the higher self, the voice within that does not shout, does not push, does not demand. It waits. It waits for you to be still enough to hear it. And when you hear it, you will remember. You will remember that you were never meant to be reactive, you were designed to be creative. You were not placed in this life to survive its winds, you were sent to command them. The wind does not move the mountain shapes the wind. And you, in your stillness, become like that mountain, firm, rooted, immovable. Not because nothing touches you, but because nothing shakes you. You rise not to escape conflict, but to transcend it. Not to ignore life's challenges, but to meet them from a higher state of awareness. You realize that every problem loses its power the moment you stop identifying with it. Every argument becomes void the moment you no longer need to be right. Every attack loses momentum the moment you no longer fear. So the one who is calm cannot be baited. The one who is centered cannot be provoked. The one who is unbothered does not fall for the tricks of urgency, of manipulation, of drama. They move differently. They speak less and mean more. They act from intention, not reaction. They embody the truth that still waters run deep. And those depths are where power truly lies. So you stop apologizing for your calm. You stop dimming your peace to fit into the storm of others. You stop explaining your silence to those who cannot hear its wisdom. You rest in your inner world, not as an escape, but as your throne. You return again and again to the knowing that everything you desire already exists, not out there, but within. And as you assume it within, it begins to take form without. This is why you do not react, you rise. You do not fight for evidence, you embody faith. You do not chase the outcome, you become the embodiment of the outcome, and let reality adjust itself accordingly. This is not fantasy, this is law. The inner determines the outer, always. And when you forget, when the noise tries to pull you back, when the old self wants to scream, to prove, to demand, you pause, you return to the breath, you return to the knowing, you return to the stillness that has always been yours. You return not because it is easy, but because it is essential. It is the only place where creation truly begins. Others may live from trigger to trigger. Others may live from panic to panic, but you now live from truth to truth, from assumption to manifestation, from peace to power. And that journey is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is subtle, it is sacred, it is still. So you keep walking in your knowing. You keep showing up in your presence. You keep moving from the center of who you are rather than the surface of what happens. Because the surface will always shift. But the center, if guarded, if nurtured, if honored, will not only endure, it will govern. You are not here to be mastered by emotion. You are here to master emotion. You are not here to beg the world for change. You are here to change the world by changing the self. You are not here to chase peace. You are here to realize you are peace. And peace is not passive. Peace is the most powerful presence in the universe because it cannot be moved by force. It absorbs and transmutes. It does not flinch. It transforms. So be unbothered, not because nothing matters, but because you know what truly does. Be calm, not because you are indifferent, but because you are in tune. Be still, not because you are avoiding, but because you are creating. Keep choosing your center, keep rising above the noise, keep walking in the stillness that speaks louder than thunder, and watch how the world follows your lead, not because you forced it, but because you became the frequency it could not ignore. And so you stay still, not frozen, but focused, not passive, but poised. You are not ignoring the world, you are shaping it. You are shaping it not with frantic motion, but with the invisible, immeasurable power of assumption. You no longer seek control over what others do or say, because you have awakened to the only control that matters, the control over what you accept as true within yourself. When you are calm, you are choosing truth over appearance. When you are still, you are anchoring yourself in reality, not illusion. You begin to recognize how much of what once disturbed you was never truly about you. It was a mirror, a test, an invitation to believe something lesser. But now you reject the invitation. You no longer lower yourself to meet situations at the level of reaction. You elevate the moment by your response, or the absence of one. To react is to relive. To respond from inner vision is to rewrite. And you are no longer here to relive the same story over and over. You are here to write a new one. Not dictated by wounds or patterns or old conditioning, but led by the new self, the higher self, the calm, risen self that already knows how this ends, the one who walks with the quiet assurance that everything is already aligned. You do not need to look over your shoulder to know you are safe. You do not need to argue your value when it has already been established in your consciousness. You no longer ask the world for permission to be whole. You are whole. You do not need evidence to rest in the promise. You are the promise. You do not wait for the circumstance to declare peace. You declare it yourself, and the circumstance must respond. The one who walks in faith does not need immediate validation. The one who lives from the end does not need proof. The one who has assumed the state does not need reassurance. So when the storm comes, and it will, you do not waver. You do not consult the storm for direction. You consult your knowing, and your knowing says, "This too bends to me." Not through force, but through frequency, through consciousness, through stillness. You are no longer the version of yourself who reacts, who fears, who shrinks. That version may still whisper, may still linger in the corners of your awareness, but you no longer obey it. You observe it, you bless it, you release it. You replace it with the one who walks through fire and remains untouched, the one who moves through uncertainty and remains unshaken, the one who no longer lives by sight, but by inner knowing. Because sight can lie. It shows you the incomplete. It shows you the echo, not the cause. But inner knowing, that is the cause. That is the source. That is the unseen realm where all things begin. And once you begin to live from that place, nothing external can master you again. Not delays, not disappointments, not disrespect. They may appear, they may test you, but they no longer move you. You become like the tree planted by the water. It does not fear the drought. It does not rush to gather the rain. It knows the root is deeper than the season. And so are you. You are rooted in something far greater than circumstances. You are grounded in identity, in truth, in the quiet power that moves mountains without shouting. And so you remain anchored, aware, awake. You do not need to shout when you are aligned. You do not need to rush when you are rooted. You do not need to defend when you have dominion. This is not arrogance, it is awareness. This is not pride, it is presence. You are not above others, you are simply above the storm. Not because you escaped it, but because you transcended it. You did the work, you assumed the state. You let go of needing to win, needing to prove, needing to control, and because of that, everything began to align without strain. Let them call you quiet, let them call you detached, let them misunderstand your calm. That is not your burden to carry. Your stillness is not their business to decode. Your poise is not their puzzle to solve. It is your secret, your strength, your sacred space. Guard it, protect it, build your life from it. And from that stillness, you begin to create, not just reactively, but intentionally. You speak from a place that does not beg, it declares. You think from a place that does not doubt, it assumes. You act from a place that does not fear, it moves from faith. And because of that, everything shifts. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. Now, even in the face of accusation, you smile. Not because you are numb, but because you are free. Now, even in the face of delay, you trust. Not because you are blind, but because you see deeper. Now, even when you are misunderstood, you remain unbothered. Not because it doesn't matter, but because you matter more. Your inner world has become your first and final authority. And you begin to notice, the less you react, the more power you retain. The less you explain, the more influence you carry. The less you grasp, the more you receive. This is the paradox of peace. It brings to you what striving chases away. It magnetizes what anxiety repels. It aligns what effort alone cannot produce. So you do not resist the present moment. You enter it. You bring your full awareness to it. And from that awareness, you rise, not in body, but in being, not in volume, but in vibration. You rise not above people, but above patterns. You ascend not from pride, but from purpose. And you remain steady, watchful, intentional. While the world reacts, you remember. While others grasp, you trust. While noise surrounds, you stay attuned to the whisper of your own inner voice, the one that says, all is well, I am safe, I am whole, I am here. This moment too shall pass. The anger will fade, the tension will dissolve, the confusion will clear. But what remains? You, your center, your chosen state. That is what endures. That is what creates. That is what changes everything. So keep choosing it. When the temptation comes to argue, choose peace. When the fear comes to worry, choose faith. When the pressure comes to react, choose stillness. And do it again, and again, and again, until it becomes your natural state, until it becomes your home. You are not here to live at the mercy of events. You are here to shape events through your state of being. You are not here to convince others of your worth. You are here to embody it so fully that the world has no choice but to reflect it back. You are not here to fight for your place. You are here to rise into it. And when you rise, others will feel it. Even if they don't understand it, they will feel it. Your calm will unsettle the unrooted. Your peace will shake what is built on panic. But that is not your concern. Your only concern is staying true to your center, no matter what tries to pull you away. And so you rise, not once, but daily. Not from force, but from flow. Not for applause, but from alignment. You rise without reaction. You rise without retaliation. You rise, and in your rising, you remind the world of what true power looks like. And when you rise in this way, not from anger, but from awareness, not from frustration, but from fulfillment, you begin to change everything. Not by force, but by frequency. The atmosphere around you takes its cues from the posture within you. Circumstances that once overwhelmed you now bend around you. People who once drained you no longer access the depths of you. And the patterns that once controlled you fall away, not because you fought them, but because you no longer feed them with your attention. There is no battle when you have already won within. There is no chaos when you have established order in your consciousness. The outer world can only mimic what you carry inside. So the more you remain in this state of calm, the more your life begins to reflect it, not as a fragile piece that depends on everything going well, but as an immovable foundation that remains even when everything shakes. You've seen it before. The moment you reacted in the past, you lowered your vibration. You spoke too soon, moved too fast, believed the worst, and the results followed. But now you remember, you do not move because you're afraid. You move because you're aligned. You do not speak to be heard, you speak to direct. And sometimes silence is the loudest direction. You no longer fear what others think. Their judgments are based on their own projections, not your truth. Their opinions are shaped by their own stories, not your spirit. Let them think what they will. You're no longer shaped by the noise. You're shaped by the silence within it. And that silence, that inner sanctuary, is not empty, it is full. Full of clarity, full of power, full of intention. You return to it not to escape the world, but to command it. You go there to reset, to realign, to remember. Remember who you are. Remember what you've declared. Remember that nothing outside of you is greater than what lives within you. So you walk differently now. You're no longer in a hurry. You're no longer desperate to prove, to be chosen, to be understood. You're no longer seeking validation from a world that doesn't even see itself clearly. You've stopped asking for scraps of approval. You sit at the table of your own worth. You feast on the fullness of your inner knowing. And because of this, everything changes. Not overnight, perhaps, not always with fireworks, but subtly, surely, powerfully. The situations that once made you spiral now meet a version of you that smiles. The people that once triggered you now feel no reaction to push against. The fears that once ran your thoughts now dissolve before they can even form. You are free, free not because the world is easy, but because you've chosen the higher path. Free not because there's no pressure, but because pressure no longer defines your behavior. Free because you no longer give your peace away to the temporary, the petty, the passing. Even in the face of what you don't yet understand, you remain still. You are no longer ruled by the need to figure it all out. You've made peace with mystery. You trust that all things are being worked together in perfect sequence, even when you can't see it. You trust that nothing is being withheld from you, that the delay is not a denial, that the silence is not rejection, it is preparation. So when it seems like nothing is moving, you don't panic. You move inward. You assume the position of the one who already has the thing, already knows the answer, already is the version that the result belongs to. And you dwell there, not briefly, but completely. You stop dipping in and out of belief. You stop wavering between conviction and doubt. You stop negotiating with fear. You set your intention and you remain there. You remain unshaken. You remain calm. You remain undistracted. And that is the difference. That is the power. That is how the unseen becomes seen. Others may call this delusion, but you know better. It's devotion to the unseen reality that is more real than what the five senses can perceive. You are loyal not to what is, but to what is becoming. You are faithful not to circumstances, but to vision. And your vision, held in calm, saturated in peace, will always outlast any appearance of lack, of conflict, of delay. You become the observer, not the reactor. You watch, but you do not absorb. You discern, but you do not descend. You carry peace not as an accessory, but as your essence. It is no longer something you have, it is who you are. And when peace becomes identity, nothing can take it from you. That is why you're no longer shaken, because your peace is no longer circumstantial, it is positional. It is rooted in your choice, your awareness, your state of being. And that state creates outcomes, attracts answers, produces manifestations, not through striving, but through presence. The less you need, the more you receive. The less you explain, the more you command. The less you chase, the more you attract. This is not magic, this is law. And now that you've tapped into it, you no longer lower yourself to fight for what belongs to you by nature. Even when you're tempted, you remember that reaction is expensive. It costs you your energy, your clarity, your alignment, and you no longer pay that price. You've paid it too many times before, and the return was never worth the cost. Now, you invest your focus in the only place that matters, your inner world. And from there, all things are added. Not because you beg, but because you believe. Not because you wrestle, but because you rest. And your rest is not passivity, it is power. So you walk through life with grace. You say less, you smile more, you trust the knowing, you hold the vision. And the world, though it may not understand at first, begins to respond. The doors open, the answers come, the resistance falls away. Not because you fought harder, but because you held your peace longer. Not because you were louder, but because your vibration was stronger. Not because you reacted, but because you rose. You rose, and everything else had to rise to meet you. So now you understand, your power was never in the noise, but in the stillness. It was never in the reaction, but in the rising. You were never meant to fight for peace. You were meant to be peace. And when you choose that identity, moment by moment, breath by breath, the world no longer dictates your reality. You do. Remain unmoved by what tries to shake you. Stay rooted in the vision that calls you. Walk in the quiet confidence of one who already is. And when the world asks, "Why aren't you reacting?" let your presence speak the answer, "Because I have already risen." There is a power working within you, a force unseen but ever present, shaping the very fabric of your reality. You may look around and see obstacles, struggle, and pain, but what if I told you that right now, in this very moment, your story is being rewritten? The hand of God moves beyond human understanding, beyond time, beyond limitation. What you call delay, He calls preparation. What you see as failure, He sees as a necessary chapter in a grander design. You are not forgotten, nor are you forsaken. Though your mind may race with questions, though your heart may be heavy with burdens, rest now. Release the need to understand how or when. Your only task is to trust, to believe, to know with absolute certainty that God is at work in your life. The world may say that change is difficult, that transformation takes effort, but divine power does not operate through struggle. It works through surrender. You do not need to push or force, only to align. Your reality is a reflection of your belief. If you hold on to the story of struggle, you will continue to see it unfold. But the moment you release it, the moment you declare that God is rewriting your destiny, everything begins to shift. Circumstances rearrange, doors open where there were none, and people appear in your life as if drawn by an invisible force. That is the work of God. Silent yet unstoppable, unseen yet undeniable. You are not a victim of fate. You are a vessel through which divine power flows. The old story no longer serves you. It is done. The past is not your prison unless you keep carrying it forward. Let it go now. Breathe, rest, and watch as the impossible bends in your favor. Your only responsibility is to hold the vision of a life redeemed, restored, and overflowing with blessings. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to fight against. Stand still and know that God is working. The pieces of your life are falling into place with precision beyond your comprehension. You do not need to chase, to beg, or to plead. You are already chosen. You are already written into the story of victory. It is already done. Rest now and watch how God moves in your life. God moves in ways beyond human comprehension, beyond the logic of the mind, beyond the limits of what your eyes can see. You may believe your story is set, that your circumstances define you, but in the realm of the divine, nothing is fixed. The moment you let go of resistance, the moment you surrender the struggle and trust, the unseen hand of God begins to weave something new. You are not abandoned, nor are you forgotten. You are not the forlorn abuse. You are being shaped, refined, and prepared for something greater than you have imagined. Right now, you may feel surrounded by challenges, but those challenges are not permanent. They are stepping stones. What seems like a dead end is merely a transition into a greater unfolding. The problem is not the situation itself, but the perception of it. You have been conditioned to believe in limitations, to accept lack, to expect struggle. But those are not divine truths, they are illusions created by the world. In the mind of God, your story has already been written in victory. The struggle is only there to awaken you, to teach you to turn inward, to trust in the unseen power that governs all things. Rest now, cease the endless striving, the anxious wondering, the need to control every detail. The moment you step back, God steps in. The moment you release fear, divine favor rushes in to fill the space. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you to align with the truth that everything is already working for your good. The delays, the disappointments, the closed doors, they were never punishments. They were divine redirections, gentle whispers from the universe guiding you towards something better. What you once called rejection was actually protection. What you thought was loss was preparation for increase. The mind cannot grasp the magnitude of God's work because it is conditioned by time, by logic, by past experiences. But God does not operate within those limits. The path may look unclear to you, but to the divine, every detail has already been arranged. Every connection, every opportunity, every breakthrough is already in motion. You do not need to figure out how, you only need to believe. When you believe without resistance, when you trust without questioning, the unseen becomes seen. That which was delayed suddenly appears. That which seemed impossible suddenly materializes. Your faith is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. Faith is not hoping, it is knowing. It is standing firm in the unseen, fully convinced that what you seek is already yours. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it blind optimism. It is spiritual law. It is the way the universe was designed to function. What you hold in consciousness must reflect in your world. What you dwell upon with certainty must be drawn into form. Do not allow circumstances to dictate your belief. Do not allow the external world to shake your inner knowing. God is not limited by appearances, and neither are you. The situation you are in now is nothing compared to the power working behind the scenes. Everything you have prayed for, every desire placed in your heart, is already being fulfilled in ways you cannot yet see. The movement of God is often subtle at first, almost imperceptible, like a seed germinating beneath the soil. But in the divine order, nothing is wasted, nothing is stagnant. There is constant movement, constant unfolding, and when the time is right, the results will burst forth into reality in ways that will leave you in awe. Release the timeline. Let go of the need to know when, how, or through whom your blessing will arrive. These are not your concerns. Your only task is to hold the vision, to align your mind with what is already true in the divine realm. See yourself as already blessed. Walk as if the doors are already open. Speak as though your testimony is already written. The moment you assume this posture, reality bends to accommodate it. God is working in your life right now. Even in moments of silence, even when it seems like nothing is changing, there is movement. The foundation is being laid. The pieces are being positioned. You do not need to strive, to force, to make things happen. Your role is to trust, to align, to expect. The mind wants proof before belief, but the Spirit knows that belief is the proof. When you believe, you open the floodgates for divine favor. When you rest in the certainty of God's promises, everything shifts in your favor. You are not bound by what has been. The past has no power unless you give it permission to shape your present. Release the old story. Release the weight of past failures, past disappointments, past wounds. They do not belong in your future. They were part of the journey, but not part of the destination. Every setback was a setup. Every hardship was a lesson. But now it is time to step into the new, to embrace the reality that God has already made a way where there seemed to be none. Your life is not unfolding by accident. Every detail, every event, every person who enters and exits your life is part of a grand design. Nothing is happening to you, it is happening for you. Even in your waiting season, there is purpose. Even in moments of uncertainty, there is divine order. Trust that God is working even when you do not see it, even when you do not understand it. The most powerful transformations happen in the unseen. Seeds grow in darkness before they break through the soil. Miracles manifest in silence before they are announced to the world. There is nothing missing in your life. Everything you need is already within you, waiting for recognition. The shift does not happen outside of you, it happens within. When you recognize yourself as already chosen, already blessed, already in possession of what you seek, the world must conform to that truth. This is the divine law. It does not fail, it does not falter. It is as sure as the rising sun, as certain as the beating of your heart. You were not created to struggle, to beg, to chase after what is already yours. You were created to embody, to receive, to walk in the fullness of divine provision. There is no lack in God, no shortage in the realm of the unseen. The only thing that can block the flow of abundance is doubt, fear, and attachment to the old. But the moment you let go, the moment you decide to rest in trust, the floodgates open. Your story is being rewritten in this very moment. What was meant to harm you is turning for your good. What seemed like a delay is setting you up for acceleration. What felt like a loss is making room for overflow. Do not fear, do not worry, do not try to force what is already yours. Just rest, just trust, just allow the divine to work as it always does, effortlessly, perfectly, and in ways beyond what you could ever imagine. Rest in the knowledge that the forces of the divine are already aligning every detail of your life. There is nothing out of order, nothing missing, nothing lost. Even when your eyes see difficulty, even when your heart feels weary, the truth remains unchanged. God is working, and His work is perfect. Every perceived delay is a moment of preparation. Every closed door is leading you to the right one. You are not wandering without direction, nor are you forgotten in the process. You are being positioned for something greater than your mind can yet comprehend. It is easy to believe when the evidence is before you, when the blessings are visible, when the answers come swiftly, but faith does not require sight. Faith is knowing before the manifestation, believing without needing proof, trusting when nothing seems to be happening. It is in these moments of stillness that God is working the most. The foundation is being set beneath the surface, and when the time is right, what has been prepared in the unseen will become undeniable in the seen. You do not need to strive, to force, or to control the process. The greatest breakthroughs come not through struggle, but through surrender. The moment you release the weight of worry, the burden of doubt, the chains of fear, you create space for miracles. The divine does not work through tension, it flows through peace. When you rest in trust, you align yourself with the limitless abundance that was always meant for you. The mind seeks solutions, timelines, explanations. It asks when, how, through whom. But the divine operates beyond such limitations. The moment you let go of the need to figure it out, you step into the flow of divine ease. Everything begins to unfold in perfect harmony, not by your effort, but by the unseen hand guiding all things. There is no need to chase what is already destined for you. There is no need to force open doors that are being prepared to swing wide on their own. Your only role is to remain steadfast in your knowing, unwavering in your trust, unshaken by temporary circumstances. Everything you desire already exists in the realm of the unseen. The love, the opportunities, the breakthroughs, the healing is not being created, it is being revealed. It is not being withheld, it is waiting for you to align with it. The moment you declare that, it is already done. The moment you stand in the certainty that God has already made the way, the physical world must conform. This is the nature of divine law. It is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual truth. The world may tell you to work harder, to struggle more, to do more. But the divine whispers something different. It says rest, it says trust. It says, let go. The greatest miracles happen in stillness. The greatest transformations occur when you allow rather than resist. Every desire placed in your heart was placed there for a reason. Every vision you carry is a glimpse of what is already yours. Your job is not to question, not to fear, not to shrink back in doubt, but to rise in faith, to walk as if it is already done, to speak as though it has already come to pass. When you embody the energy of already having, the world responds accordingly. The unseen begins to move, the path begins to clear, the answers begin to appear. This is not coincidence. This is divine alignment. Everything you need is already being arranged. The right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances are all coming together in perfect timing. There is no need to rush. There is no need to fear. The divine never moves too soon, nor does it move too late. It moves precisely, perfectly, and always in your favor. The struggles of the past do not define the future. What has been does not dictate what will be. The moment you shift your focus from what was to what is possible, you unlock a new reality. The past has served its purpose. It has prepared you, strengthened you, shaped you, but it is not your identity. You are not bound to old patterns, old failures, old disappointments. You are being made new in this very moment. Every old chain is breaking. Every past limitation is dissolving. You are stepping into a new version of yourself, one that no longer clings to fear, but stands firm in faith. Every challenge you have faced was not to break you, but to build you. Every difficulty was not to defeat you, but to elevate you. You have been refined through the process, and now you are ready to receive the blessings that have always been meant for you. No effort has been wasted. No tear has gone unnoticed. Everything has been accounted for, and everything is turning in your favor. What was once a test will soon be your testimony. What once felt like struggle will soon be a story of victory. There is nothing too great for God. No situation is beyond His power. No obstacle is beyond His ability to remove. What seems impossible in human eyes is effortless in divine hands. The very thing that has seemed out of reach is already being placed in your path. The very answer you have been seeking is already on its way. There is no need to fight for what has already been written as yours. Simply align, simply believe, simply stand in the unwavering knowing that it is already done. You have spent enough time doubting. You have spent enough time questioning. Now is the time to step fully into faith. Now is the time to embrace the truth that God is working, that your story is shifting, that what you seek is seeking you. There is no separation between you and the life you desire. The only separation exists in belief. The moment you decide that it is already yours, the world must rearrange to reflect that truth. The moment you accept that divine favor is already upon you, the blessings must manifest in form. Rest now. Release the need to know every step. Release the need to see immediate proof. The proof is in the unseen, and soon it will be undeniable in the seen. The work has already been completed in the spiritual realm. The manifestation is simply a matter of alignment. Walk as though you have already received. Speak as though the prayer has already been answered. Move through life as though every door is already open. This is the posture of faith. This is the energy that accelerates miracles. God is not distant. He is not waiting for you to earn His favor, for you have already been chosen. You have already been marked for blessings beyond measure. The divine does not withhold, it only awaits your recognition. The moment you recognize yourself as already worthy, already abundant, already victorious, the world must comply. Nothing outside of you has power over your destiny. No circumstance, no past mistake, no external condition can alter what God has ordained. You are already positioned for greatness. You are already walking in divine favor. Allow the old to fall away. Allow the new to emerge. Let go of fear, of hesitation, of the need for control. Surrender fully to the knowing that your story is being rewritten. The chapter of struggle is closing. The chapter of abundance is beginning. There is nothing more for you to do, nothing more for you to force. Just rest, just trust, just allow. God is working in your life, and what is coming will exceed every expectation, every prayer, and every dream you have ever carried. It is already done. Every moment you rest in faith, you allow the divine to unfold miracles in ways beyond your understanding. There is no force greater than trust, no energy more powerful than unwavering belief. The mind may try to reason, to calculate, to analyze, but the ways of God are not bound by logic. They operate in the unseen, moving pieces into place in perfect harmony. What seems delayed is already in motion. What feels distant is already reaching for you. Your only task is to remain still in your knowing, for everything is happening exactly as it should. You have already been set apart for something greater than your current reality. The struggles you have faced were never meant to define you, but to prepare you. The pain you have endured was never meant to break you, but to refine you. Every challenge was a necessary piece of the story, leading you to this moment, this realization, this truth. You were never abandoned. You were never forsaken. The hand of God has been upon you all along, guiding, shaping. Even in the darkest nights, the divine light never left you. Even in the moments of deep uncertainty, heaven was orchestrating your breakthrough. What appears as silence is not absence. What seems like stillness is not inactivity. The unseen is more real than what the eyes can perceive. Every prayer has been heard. Every tear has been collected. Every longing of your heart has been acknowledged. And now the shift is taking place. Not because you fought for it, not because you forced it, but because you finally surrendered. The moment you release control is the moment divine power takes over. The moment you step out of the way is the moment the path clears. You do not need to push against the current, you need only to flow with the tide of destiny. There is no mistake in your journey, no experience has been wasted. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment was divinely permitted to bring you to something higher, something greater, something you could not have imagined for yourself. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What you saw as failure was preparation. You have not lost anything that was truly meant for you. What is yours cannot be taken, cannot be destroyed, cannot be blocked. It is sealed by divine decree, and no earthly force can undo what has already been set in motion. The doors that once seemed shut will open effortlessly. The opportunities that once felt out of reach will present themselves without struggle. The love, the abundance, the peace that once felt unattainable will flood into your life with ease. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because you believed. The power of faith is the key that unlocks every divine blessing. The moment you trust in the unseen, you align with a force that is beyond human limitation. You step into the flow of miracles, where things unfold with divine ease, where battles are won without lifting a hand, where blessings chase you down instead of you chasing after them. This is the moment where you shift from waiting to receiving. You are not in a season of lack, but in a season of transformation. You are not being overlooked, but being prepared. Every time you rest in the knowing that God is working, you accelerate the process. Every time you release the need to figure it out, you make space for the divine to work in ways beyond your imagination. There is no need to strive. There is no need to worry. The outcome has already been determined, and it is good. What if you stopped doubting? What if you stopped looking for signs and simply decided that it is already done? What if you woke up each day with the certainty that what you seek is seeking you, that what you desire is already unfolding? What if you spoke as if it had already happened, acted as if you were already living in the reality you long for? The world would shift, the circumstances would realign, the evidence would appear, not because the external changed first, but because your inner state became the magnet for the life that was always yours. Everything is a reflection of what you hold within. If you carry fear, you see obstacles. If you carry doubt, you see delays. But if you carry faith, you see movement. If you carry trust, you see doors opening. The choice is yours in every moment. Will you align with the fear of lack, or will you align with the certainty of divine provision? Will you dwell in the past, or will you step fully into the power of the present moment, where all things are possible? Your story is shifting in this very moment. Even if your eyes cannot yet see it, even if your hands cannot yet touch it, the transformation is happening beneath the surface. The divine blueprint of your life is unfolding exactly as it should. No mistake has been made, no effort has been in vain. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and everything is unfolding for your highest good. There is nothing more to do but trust, nothing more to force but to allow. The moment you let go of the struggle, you step into divine ease. The moment you stop resisting, the blessings flow. The moment you believe without condition, the manifestation begins. Rest now. The battle is no longer yours. The work is already being done. The victory is already won. God is moving, and your story is changing in ways you never imagined. There is no force in the universe greater than the divine will working on your behalf. Even when you cannot see it, even when it feels as if nothing is changing, the unseen hand of God is moving. There is no moment of your life that is outside of divine awareness. Every thought, every prayer, every unspoken desire of your heart is known, and when the time is right, what has been prepared for you will appear. Not by force, not by struggle, but by the effortless unfolding of divine timing. You do not need to strive for what is already yours. You do not need to chase what has been assigned to you. Everything is already set in motion. The answers, the breakthroughs, the divine opportunities, they are not distant, they are not far away. They are simply waiting for the moment when your heart is fully open to receive. And that moment comes not through worry, not through doubt, but through deep, unshakable trust. The more you release, the more you receive. The more you surrender, the more doors open. The human mind seeks control, seeks logic, seeks to understand, but the ways of God are beyond human comprehension. What may seem like delay is divine preparation. What may seem like silence is the setting of the stage. What may feel like unanswered prayers is the unfolding of something far greater than you imagined. If only you could see the grand design being woven on your behalf, you would rest in absolute peace. You would not question, you would not fear, you would not wonder if it is coming. You would simply know that it is already done. Every great story has moments of tension, moments where it seems like nothing is happening, moments where everything appears to be working against the main character. But those moments are never the end. They are simply the space before the breakthrough, the stillness before the transformation, the preparation before the victory. And so it is with your life. What you perceive as obstacles are merely stepping stones. What you see as setbacks are simply reroutes leading you to something better. The plan for your life is perfect, unshakable, unbreakable. No force on earth, no mistake, no misstep can undo what has been divinely ordained for you. The more you trust, the faster things move. The more you let go of the need to figure it all out, the more space you create for the divine to work in miraculous ways. There is nothing missing in your life. There is nothing you lack. Everything you need has already been provided for. The resources, the connections, the solutions, the opportunities, they are all being aligned right now. The only thing standing between you and their arrival is your willingness to believe without condition. What if you stopped doubting? What if you stopped looking at circumstances and simply decided that it is already done? What if you refused to entertain thoughts of lack, thoughts of fear, thoughts of limitation? What if instead you held a deep and unwavering knowing that all things are working for your good? The moment you shift your belief, the moment you decide that what you seek is already yours, reality bends to match your inner conviction. The world is not happening to you, it is responding to you. The divine mirrors back to you whatever you hold within. Hold worry, and you see reasons to worry. Hold faith, and you see reasons to believe. Hold gratitude, and you receive even more to be grateful for. There is nothing left for you to do but trust. You have done enough. You have asked, you have prayed, you have sought guidance. Now it is time to rest in the knowing that the answer is already on its way. The moment you release, the moment you stop grasping, everything begins to move in your favor. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to figure it out. The divine has already gone before you, preparing the way, aligning the details, setting the stage for the perfect unfolding. It may not come in the way you expected. It may not appear in the way you planned. But when it arrives, you will know that it was divinely orchestrated. Every detail will be perfect. Every moment will be aligned. And you will look back and understand why things had to unfold exactly as they did. You will see that nothing was lost, nothing was wasted. Every moment of waiting, every moment of uncertainty, every challenge was leading you to this, to something beyond what you could have imagined. If you could see the way God sees, you would not fear, you would not worry, you would not question, you would rest in perfect peace, knowing that all things are unfolding for your highest good. You would wake each day with confidence, knowing that what is meant for you can never be taken from you. You would walk with certainty, knowing that even when things seem still, heaven is moving on your behalf. The moment you step into this trust, the moment you let go of the need to control, the moment you stop doubting, everything shifts. Doors open effortlessly. Answers appear, miracles unfold, not because you forced them, but because you aligned with them. Not because you struggled for them, but because you finally allowed them. The greatest breakthroughs come when you stop fighting and start trusting. The greatest blessings come when you stop chasing and start receiving. Rest now. Let go of the worry, the stress, the need to figure it out. It is already being taken care of. The divine is already at work. The story is already written. The victory is already won. What is meant for you is making its way to you in perfect timing, in perfect order, in perfect alignment. God is working, and nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. You do not need to chase what is already moving toward you. Every moment of your life has been accounted for. Every step, every breath, every pause. It is all unfolding exactly as it should. Even in the moments when you feel lost, when you wonder if your prayers have gone unheard, when it seems like nothing is changing, know this: God is working. The invisible forces of creation are aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in ways you cannot yet see. There is no wasted time, no missed chances, no wrong turns in the divine plan. What is yours, and nothing can take it away. The mind seeks reassurance. It looks for signs, for proof, for evidence that things are moving in the right direction. But faith does not require proof. Faith is knowing before seeing, believing before receiving, trusting before understanding. It is the unwavering confidence that, even in the silence, God is speaking. Even in the stillness, God is moving. Even in the waiting, God is preparing something far greater than you can imagine. What looks like delay is not delay. It is divine timing in motion. You were never meant to carry the weight of your future on your own. You were never meant to figure it all out by yourself. The burden of uncertainty, of trying to control the outcome, of worrying about the how and when, release it. It is not yours to carry. The moment you let go, the moment you surrender fully, is the moment things begin to shift. Miracles happen when you stop trying to force them. Breakthroughs come when you step out of the way and allow them. The path is already clear. It is only your doubt that clouds your vision. The moment you trust, the moment you rest, the moment you step into absolute faith, everything changes. There is no such thing as an impossible situation. There is no such thing as being too far gone, too late, too broken, too lost. Every circumstance, no matter how impossible it seems, is subject to divine transformation. The sickness that seems incurable, the financial struggle that feels overwhelming, the relationship that appears beyond repair, none of it is beyond God's reach. What seems unchangeable can change in an instant. What seems blocked can open in the blink of an eye. What seems broken can be made whole in ways you never imagined. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not alone. Even in your darkest moments, when you feel abandoned, when you feel like nothing is working in your favor, God is nearer than ever. He is whispering to your heart, guiding your steps, setting things in place for your highest good. The challenges you face are not signs of punishment. They are not evidence that you have been forsaken. They are the refining fire, the necessary preparation, the process that leads to transformation. Every story of greatness, every testimony of victory, every miracle that has ever unfolded began in a place of uncertainty. It began in the waiting, in the questioning, in the moments when nothing made sense. The difference between those who see the fulfillment of their prayers and those who do not is simple. Those who trust without wavering, those who believe even when there is no evidence, those who hold on to faith even in the face of impossibility, these are the ones who see mountains move. These are the ones who experience the supernatural. God is rewriting your story. What was meant for harm will turn for good. What was stolen will be restored. What was lost will be returned in greater measure. The pain, the struggles, the tears, they were never in vain. They were never without purpose. Every trial was shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you for what is to come. If you could see what is ahead, if you could glimpse the blessings that are waiting for you, you would not fear. You would not doubt. You would rest in perfect peace, knowing that everything is aligning in your favor. Nothing is too big for God. Nothing is beyond His power. He does not need time. He does not need logical solutions. He does not work according to human limitations. In an instant, He can open doors you never knew existed. In a moment, He can change everything. But He is waiting on you to trust, to let go, to believe fully without hesitation. You have prayed, you have hoped, now release it. Rest. Let go of the need to constantly question, to constantly seek reassurance, to constantly wonder if it will happen. It is already done. The moment you asked, the answer was set into motion. The moment you believed, the manifestation began. The only thing that remains is for you to receive. And receiving requires rest. Receiving requires surrender. Receiving requires stepping into the absolute knowing that what you seek is already yours. This is not about waiting. This is about trusting. This is about stepping into the reality where you know beyond any doubt that God has already worked it out. The more you rest in this truth, the faster things unfold. The more you align your heart with divine assurance, the more effortlessly things fall into place. This is the way of miracles. This is the way of divine manifestation. Your story is not over. Your journey is not finished. The best chapters are still being written. The most beautiful moments are still ahead. The breakthrough you seek, the answer you long for, the change you have been praying for, it is closer than you think. Trust, rest, and know that God is working in your life in ways beyond what you can see or imagine. So now, release the worry, the fear, and the need to understand every step. Let go of the resistance, the doubt, and the constant questioning. God has already set everything in motion. Your only task is to trust, to rest, and to receive. What is meant for you is already yours. The transformation, the breakthrough, the answered prayer, it is unfolding even now. Do not let your mind convince you otherwise. Walk in faith, speak in faith, think in faith. The same God who has brought you this far will not fail you now. Stand firm, believe, and watch as your story is rewritten in ways far greater than you ever imagined. The anointing of God is not always a gentle touch. It is a force, a calling that sets you apart. When you are dangerously anointed, the world shifts around you, for you no longer belong to the patterns of ordinary men. You begin to walk a path unseen, guided by the unseen hand of divine power, and those around you either marvel or fear the presence you carry. The first sign is isolation. When the hand of God is upon you, separation becomes inevitable. Friends drift away, relationships grow distant, and even family may not understand you. This is not a punishment, but a divine rearrangement. The anointing demands solitude, for in silence, revelation comes. The noise of the world is stripped away, leaving only you and God. In that space, He molds you, breaks you, and reshapes you into the vessel He needs. There is a restlessness in your spirit, an inability to conform to the expectations of the world. The places that once satisfied you no longer do. The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. The desires that once ruled you fade away, for your soul is being prepared for something greater. You are being drawn to things unseen, called to a reality higher than the one around you. The ordinary no longer satisfies, because you were never meant to live an ordinary life. The anointing brings opposition. The moment you step into your divine calling, resistance arises. People question you, misunderstand you, and some will even turn against you. But opposition is the confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. When you carry divine power, the darkness takes notice. Do not be discouraged, for every great destiny attracts great warfare. The trials you face are not to break you, but to reveal who you truly are. Your words begin to carry weight. You may not fully understand it, but when you speak, things shift. People listen differently. Some are drawn to you, while others feel discomfort in your presence. It is not you they react to, but the anointing upon you. You will notice that even in casual conversations, your words have power. They cut through illusions, shake the comfortable, and stir something deep in others. This is the mark of divine authority. Strange favor follows you. Doors open where there were once walls. Opportunities come unexpectedly. People feel compelled to help you without knowing why. This is because when you are anointed, you do not move alone. Heaven backs you. But with this favor comes responsibility. You cannot abuse it, for what is given can also be taken. The anointing is not for personal gain, but for divine purpose. There is an unshakable inner knowing, an awareness that you were born for more. Even if you try to ignore it, it calls to you in the stillness. It whispers to you in moments of doubt. No matter how far you run, you cannot escape it. The anointing has marked you, and it will not let you settle. The world may try to distract you, but deep inside you know. Your life is not your own. You are sent here for something greater. You experience divine encounters, moments where the veil between heaven and earth feels thin. Dreams, visions, unexplainable coincidences, all become frequent. These are not accidents, they are messages, confirmations, reminders that you are walking a path ordained by God. Pay attention. Do not dismiss them as mere imagination, for the spiritual realm speaks to those who are awake enough to listen. Finally, there is a price to pay. The anointing is costly. It demands sacrifice. Comfort must be surrendered. The approval of men must be released. There will be days of doubt, nights of wrestling, moments of deep loneliness. But understand this. Those who are dangerously anointed do not live for themselves. They are carriers of something far greater than their own desires. They are chosen, not for ease, but for impact. The anointing on your life is not ordinary. It is dangerous because it disrupts, transforms, and awakens. You will never be able to blend in, for the light within you will always shine. Embrace it, walk boldly, do not fear the cost, for what you carry is greater than anything you could ever lose. The anointing is a fire that cannot be quenched. It burns within you, reshaping everything in its path. You may try to resist it, to walk away from its call, but once God has placed His mark upon you, there is no turning back. The world may try to pull you in different directions, offering distractions, temptations, and even comfort. But you will never truly belong to it. There is something different about you, something set apart, something that makes you a misfit in spaces where others feel at home. This is the price of being chosen. You will feel an urgency that others do not understand, a divine stirring in your soul that makes you restless. You see the world differently. You perceive things before they happen. You sense shifts in the spiritual realm before they manifest in the physical. When you speak with conviction, because the words are not yours. They are given to you. And when you move, things align, not by your own power, but by the invisible hand of God, orchestrating every step. People will notice, even if they cannot explain it. Some will be drawn to you without understanding why. They will feel comfort in your presence, a sense of peace that goes beyond words. Others will be unsettled, even hostile, because the light within you exposes the darkness in them. It is not personal. It is the nature of the anointing. You do not have to announce it. It announces itself. When you enter a room, things shift. The atmosphere changes. What was hidden is brought to the surface. Do not be surprised when you find yourself misunderstood. The anointed do not fit into categories. They are too spiritual for the natural world and too radical for the religious. You will be labeled, criticized, and sometimes even rejected by those who once walked with you. But you must not allow this to shake you. Jesus himself was not accepted in his own hometown. The anointing sets you apart, and that separation is necessary. The warfare is real. The moment you step into your calling, resistance intensifies. Attacks come from unexpected places. People you trusted may turn against you. The enemy does not fight those who are going nowhere. If you are facing opposition, it is because you are a threat. But the battle is not yours to fight alone. The power within you is greater than the forces that rise against you. No weapon formed against you will prosper. There will be moments of deep loneliness, not because God has abandoned you, but because he is drawing you closer. There are lessons that can only be learned in isolation. There are revelations that can only be received in the quiet. The anointing requires seasons of separation, not as punishment, but as preparation. When God pulls you away, it is because he is about to release something greater through you. You will begin to experience divine provision. Doors will open that you did not knock on. Resources will come when you least expect them. What others strive for, you will receive effortlessly, not because you are lucky, but because you are walking in alignment with divine purpose. But this favor is not for you alone. It is a tool for the assignment placed on your life. You will notice an increase in wisdom beyond your years. Insights will come to you suddenly. Answers will rise in your spirit before the question is even asked. This is because the anointing grants access to knowledge that is not learned but revealed. You will know things without knowing how you know them, and when you speak, it will pierce the hearts of those who hear you. You may try to blend in, but you cannot. Even in moments of doubt, even when you feel unqualified, even when you want to walk away, the anointing will not let you. It will call you back. It will stir within you until you surrender. You will see signs everywhere, reminders that you were chosen for something more. No matter how much you try to silence it, the voice of purpose will whisper to you in the stillness. There will be seasons of breaking, not to destroy you, but to refine you. Every great anointing comes with a process. Before God releases you fully, he must break every limitation within you. He will strip away pride, fear, and everything that does not align with his purpose. It will feel like loss, but it is actually transformation. The things you once depended on will be removed so that you learn to depend on him alone. People will question your journey. They will not understand why you take the risks you do, why you walk away from certain opportunities, why you make decisions that seem illogical. But you do not operate by the world's logic. You are led by something greater. What looks like a setback to others is actually a setup for something divine. What seems like loss is actually gain in disguise. The enemy will try to convince you that you are not qualified, that you are not ready, that you are not enough. But whom God calls, he equips. The anointing is not about perfection. It is about surrender. If you are waiting to feel ready, you will never move. The power does not come from you. It flows through you. It is not your strength that matters, but your obedience. You will experience supernatural protection. Situations that should have destroyed you will pass over you. You will walk through storms that others do not survive. You will face battles that should have left you broken, yet you will come out untouched. This is not because of your own ability, but because you are covered. Angels are assigned to you. The enemy may try, but he cannot touch what is divinely protected. Your life will be a testimony. The things that happen to you will not make sense to those around you. They will see doors open, prayers answered, and miracles unfold. They will see you rise from places where others fell. They will wonder how you keep going, how you keep standing, how you keep believing even when everything around you says otherwise. And the answer will always be the same. God's hand is upon you. You are not just anointed, you are dangerously anointed. You carry something that disrupts, transforms, and awakens. You will never live a normal life because you were not created for mediocrity. The calling on your life is too great, the purpose too vast, the power too strong. You must walk boldly, without fear, without hesitation. The anointing is costly, but what you gain is far greater than anything you could ever lose. There will be moments when the weight of your calling feels unbearable. You will ask, why me? You will wonder if you are strong enough to carry what has been placed upon you. But understand this, God does not anoint the unprepared. The trials, the crushing, the isolation, they are not punishments. They are the making of you. Every tear, every sleepless night, every battle you have fought in silence is shaping you for what is coming. There is no anointing without suffering, no power without process. What you have endured is not in vain. It is proof that you have been set apart. You may look at others and wonder why their journey seems easier, why they do not face the same resistance, why doors open for them without a fight. But you are not like them. You are called to something higher, something greater, and the price is different. You will not be able to do what everyone else does. You will not be able to settle where others settled. The fire within you will not let you remain comfortable. It will push you beyond your limits, stretching you, refining you, until you become who you were always meant to be. People will come into your life and people will leave. Some will celebrate you and some will despise you. Some will recognize the calling on your life and others will try to diminish it. This is the nature of being chosen. You will not always be surrounded by those who understand you. The anointing makes you stand out, and not everyone will be comfortable with that. Do not waste time trying to explain yourself to those who refuse to see. What is placed within you is not for their approval, it is for the glory of God. Your words will carry weight. When you speak, things will shift. Your prayers will not be ordinary, they will move mountains. You will declare things and they will come to pass. This is not because of your own power, but because you are a vessel through which divine power flows. You must be careful with your words, for what you release will manifest. The anointing comes with authority, and with authority comes responsibility. Speak life, speak truth. Speak with the confidence of one who knows that heaven backs every word you utter. You will be misunderstood even by those closest to you. Your obedience will be questioned. People will say you have changed, that you are too intense, too focused, too different. But the truth is, you are not who you used to be. The anointing has transformed you. It has pulled you out of the ordinary and placed you on a different path. The things that once entertained you will no longer satisfy you. The places you once found comfort will no longer feel like home. This is not loss, this is elevation. You are being taken higher, and not everyone can come with you. There will be moments of divine encounters, dreams, visions, signs that cannot be ignored. God will speak to you in ways that defy logic. You will wake up with a knowing in your spirit, a conviction that is unshakable. You will walk into rooms and feel the shift in the atmosphere before anything is said. You will sense when something is off, when someone is not who they claim to be, when an opportunity is not what it appears. This is discernment, a gift given to those who are anointed. Trust it. Do not dismiss what your spirit is telling you. Your journey will not be one of ease, but it will be one of purpose. Every obstacle you face is a stepping stone, every delay a setup for something greater. The enemy will try to discourage you, to make you believe that you are forgotten, that your labor is in vain. But God sees every sacrifice. He hears every silent prayer. He knows every battle you have fought behind closed doors. And in due time, you will reap what you have sown. The anointing on your life will not be wasted. You will experience seasons where everything accelerates, doors flinging open, opportunities arising, favor resting upon you in ways that make no sense. And then there will be seasons of stillness, where it seems as if nothing is happening, as if the heavens are silent. Do not be deceived by the quiet. It is in these moments that the greatest work is being done. The roots grow deep in stillness. The foundation is strengthened when no one is watching. Do not mistake delay for denial. What is coming is greater than anything you have imagined. People will look at you and wonder how you are still standing. They will see the storms you have walked through, the betrayals you have endured, the losses you have faced, and they will not understand how you continue to rise. But they do not see what sustains you. They do not see the unseen hand that holds you up, the grace that carries you through. You are not standing by your own strength. You are upheld by something far greater. This is why no attack can break you, no setback can destroy you. You are not just anointed, you are divinely protected. There will be moments when doubt tries to creep in, when you question whether you are truly chosen, when the weight of the journey feels too much to bear. But even in those moments, the anointing will remind you. It will stir within you, refusing to let you settle. You will try to walk away, but something will pull you back. You will try to ignore the calling, but it will keep knocking at the door of your spirit. But this is how you know you are dangerously anointed, because even when you feel weak, the fire does not go out. You were not created to blend in. You were not called to live an average life. There is nothing ordinary about you. The power that rests upon you is the same power that spoke the universe into existence, the same power that raised the dead, the same power that breaks chains and sets captives free. It is within you, and because of this you cannot be stopped. No force in hell can stand against what God has placed inside of you. No, you will walk through doors you never knocked on. You will sit in rooms you never imagined. You will speak to people you never thought you would reach. And when it happens, you will know it was never by your own ability, but by the anointing. The same anointing that set you apart, that refined you in the fire, that carried you through battles, is the same anointing that will elevate you, not for your glory, but for His. The enemy will try to silence you. He will use distractions, discouragement, even people close to you. He will plant doubt in your mind, whisper lies that make you question your worth, your purpose, your calling. But you must remember, He would not fight so hard if you were not a threat. The attacks are proof of the power within you. The resistance is confirmation that you are walking in divine purpose. You are not just anointed, you are dangerously anointed. And that means you carry something that hell fears. The world may not understand you, but heaven backs you. The road may not always be easy, but the victory is already assured. Walk in it, own it, do not shrink back. Do not let fear hold you captive. Do not let the opinions of others make you doubt what God has placed inside of you. There is a reason you feel different, a reason you cannot settle, a reason you cannot walk away from this calling no matter how hard you try. You are chosen, set apart, marked for something greater. You are anointed. And that anointing will take you places you never imagined, open doors you never thought possible, and transform lives beyond what you can see. Keep walking, keep believing, keep pressing forward. The best is yet to come. You will find yourself standing in places you never thought you'd be, speaking words that seem too powerful for your own mouth to carry. There will be moments when you wonder if you are truly the one for this task, but the anointing upon you will not allow you to retreat. It is not based on your own strength, your own wisdom, or your own understanding. It is divine, unstoppable, and beyond human comprehension. You are being moved, shaped, and prepared for something far greater than you could ever conceive. The anointing on your life will cause people to look at you with confusion. Some will admire you, while others will be offended by the power you carry. Do not expect to be understood. Do not wait for validation. The moment God's hand is upon you, you become a mystery. You will see things before others do, sense danger before it appears, and receive revelation that no one around you comprehends. This is not arrogance. This is the result of divine favor. It will be lonely at times, for not everyone can walk this path with you, but you are never truly alone. Every moment of isolation is an invitation into deeper communion with the one who anointed you. You will be tested, not to break you, but to refine you. Every storm you endure is not an accident, but a tool in the hands of the Almighty. Gold is purified in fire, and so are those who are anointed. You will feel the heat, you will feel the pressure, and there will be times when it seems like you will not make it through. But you will. The process is necessary because the anointing on your life is not light, it is heavy, weighty, and dangerous to anything that opposes the will of God. If you have been crushed, if you have been through seasons of pain that made no sense, know this: God was pressing the oil out of you. Anointing comes through pressing, and those who carry it must be willing to be broken in order to release what is within them. There will be those who try to limit you, who try to tell you that you are not ready, that you should wait, that you should lower your expectations. Ignore them. They do not see what has been placed inside you. They do not hear what you hear. They do not carry what you carry. The anointing will cause you to move at a pace that others cannot match. You will see progress where others see failure. You will rise when others expect you to fall. This is the nature of divine acceleration. You will not have to force doors open. They will open by themselves. You will not have to chase opportunities. They will find you. What takes others years to accomplish, you will do in moments. But with this blessing comes responsibility. The anointing is not for personal gain. It is not for self-glory. It is for the fulfillment of divine purpose. You will see people fall away from your life, and you must not grieve those who cannot stay. Some were only meant to walk with you for a season. Do not hold on to relationships that God Himself is removing. Some will leave because they cannot handle the transformation happening in you. Some will distance themselves because the light in you exposes their darkness. Others will betray you, and you must not retaliate. Those who oppose you do not realize that they are only pushing you further into destiny. The rejection, the betrayal, the misunderstandings, they are all working together for your good. If they pushed you into prayer, if they caused you to seek God more, if they forced you to rely on His strength instead of human support, then they served their purpose. Let them go. You will begin to experience the unexplainable. Situations will align in ways that defy human logic. Doors will open before you even knock. People will offer help without you asking. Things that seemed impossible will happen effortlessly. This is not coincidence. This is the favor that follows the anointed. But you must be careful. Favor attracts both support and opposition. The same anointing that draws people to you will also make others resent you. Some will celebrate you. Others will question why you are the one being elevated. Stay focused. Do not allow distractions to pull you off course. When you are anointed, you cannot afford to entertain every argument, respond to every critic, or explain yourself to those who do not understand. Your assignment is too great. Your destiny is too important. Your dreams will no longer be ordinary. When you sleep, you will receive divine instruction. You will wake up with answers to problems you never spoke about. You will see visions that make no sense to anyone but you. Pay attention. Do not dismiss what is being revealed to you. Write down what you see, for there will come a time when it will all make sense. The anointing sharpens your discernment, and you must trust what your spirit perceives. Do not second-guess yourself. Do not seek the approval of others before moving forward. When God speaks, move. There will be moments when you feel like you are not enough, when you question whether you are truly qualified for this calling. Remember this: God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. You are not anointed because you are perfect. You are anointed because you are chosen. You are anointed because there is an assignment on your life that only you can fulfill. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. The anointing on your life is unique, and your process will not look like anyone else's. The enemy will try to convince you that you are alone, that no one sees your struggles, that no one understands the battles you fight in secret. But heaven sees every tear, every silent prayer, every sacrifice. It is all accounted for. Nothing you have endured will be wasted. The things that were meant to break you will become the very things that make you unstoppable. The rejection, the pain, the isolation, they were all necessary. You are being positioned for something greater, something beyond what you can currently comprehend. You will feel the urgency in your spirit, the unshakable sense that you were made for more. Do not ignore it. The anointing on your life is not for someday, it is for now. You have been prepared for this moment, and nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. No opposition can block what God has ordained. No attack can cancel what has been spoken over you. Walk boldly, speak with authority, move in faith. You carry something dangerous, something that shakes the foundations of darkness, something that breaks generational curses, something that shifts atmospheres. You are not ordinary. You are not common. You are anointed. When fear tries to creep in, remind yourself who you are. When doubt whispers that you are not enough, silence it with the truth. You have been marked by God, and nothing can erase what has been placed upon you. The road ahead will not always be easy, but the victory is already assured. Keep moving forward, keep trusting, keep believing. The anointing will make a way where there is no way. The anointing will open doors no man can. The anointing will take you further than your own strength ever could. You are chosen, you are set apart, you are dangerously anointed. Walk in it. You will notice the shift in the atmosphere when you enter a room. Conversations will change, the energy will adjust, and people will either be drawn to you or repelled by you. This is the weight of divine presence upon your life. The anointing is not something you can hide. It radiates from you, even in your silence. It is not about your words, your actions, or even your intentions. It is about the Spirit moving through you. People will sense something different about you before you even speak. Some will seek to be near you because they recognize that you carry something powerful, while others will distance themselves because your presence convicts them. This is the cost of carrying something sacred. There will be moments when you wonder why you no longer fit in with the crowd, why certain friendships no longer feel the same, why the places that once felt comfortable now feel foreign. It is because the anointing separates. It does not allow you to stay where you no longer belong. What once entertained you will no longer interest you. What once satisfied you will leave you empty. This is not a loss, this is preparation. You are being pulled out of the ordinary and placed into the extraordinary. You are being called higher, and not everyone can go where you are going. Let go of the need to be understood. Let go of the desire to be accepted. When you are anointed, you must be willing to walk alone. Your prayers will shift. What once felt like routine will become divine encounters. You will begin to pray not just with your words, but with your spirit. You will feel an urgency within you to intercede, to declare, to speak life into situations that seem hopeless. You will see your prayers manifest faster, not because of your power, but because of the authority you now carry. Heaven responds to the anointed. When you pray, doors open. When you speak, atmospheres shift. When you declare, things begin to move. This is not because of who you are, but because of who is within you. Do not take this lightly. Do not allow yourself to grow complacent. The moment you realize the power that has been placed in you, you must walk in it with confidence. You will experience resistance, but do not be discouraged. The enemy does not attack the weak, he attacks the powerful. If you feel like everything around you is coming against you, if you feel like the warfare is intense, if you feel like the pressure is unbearable, it is because the enemy sees what you carry. He knows that if you ever fully step into your anointing, nothing will be able to stop you. He is afraid of you, and he should be. The forces that once tried to keep you bound will tremble when they see you rise. The very things that once held you back will have no power over you anymore. Every lie spoken against you will fall to the ground. Every attempt to derail you will fail. What was meant to destroy you will become the very thing that strengthens you. Do not fear the attacks. Do not be shaken by the opposition. The anointing does not come without a cost. It does not rest upon the comfortable. It is forged in the fire of affliction, in the weight of suffering, in the depth of surrender. You will not be anointed without going through something that forces you to rely on God completely. There will be seasons of brokenness, not to weaken you, but to make you unshakable. There will be seasons of loss, not to punish you, but to detach you from everything that is not aligned with your calling. The anointing requires separation, consecration, and full dependence on God. Your perception will change. You will no longer see the world as others do. What they see as coincidence, you will recognize as divine orchestration. What they call luck, you will know as favor. Where they see impossibility, you will see God's power at work. Your thoughts will no longer be limited by logic or fear. You will understand that what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Your faith will rise to a level where doubt cannot exist. You will no longer beg for blessings. You will walk as if they are already yours. You will no longer ask for doors to open. You will declare them open. This is the power of a dangerously anointed person. You do not move by sight. You move by revelation. There will be moments when you feel an overwhelming sense of destiny. You will wake up with purpose burning in your heart, even when you try to ignore it, even when you try to run from it. It will pursue you. You were not chosen randomly. Before you took your first breath, this assignment was placed upon your life. The anointing is not something you earned. It is something you were given. You were set apart long before you even realized it. Every experience, every trial, every victory, every loss, it has all been shaping you for this moment. Nothing has been wasted. Even the things that seemed unfair, the struggles that made no sense, the pain that felt unbearable, it was all preparation. The closer you get to stepping fully into your calling, the more intense the battles will become. Do not mistake resistance for failure. If you are facing opposition, it is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. If doors are closing, it is because the right ones are about to open. If people are turning against you, it is because their season in your life is over. If everything around you feels uncertain, it is because God is shifting you into something greater. Trust the process, trust the anointing on your life. Do not rush what God is doing. The oil that rests upon you is not cheap, it is costly. It has been refined in the fire, pressed through the crushing, and poured out for a purpose. You will notice that your words carry weight. What you say will begin to happen. Be careful with your tongue. The anointing gives you the power to create, to build, to shape reality with your declarations. Speak life, speak abundance, speak healing, speak victory. Do not use your words carelessly. The enemy will try to distract you, to tempt you into speaking negativity, into agreeing with lies. Guard your mouth, guard your mind, guard your spirit. You have been entrusted with something powerful. Do not misuse it. When people ask why you are different, why you see things before they happen, why you move with such confidence, why you are not afraid, tell them it is not you, it is the anointing. When they question how you keep rising despite the challenges, how you keep walking through doors that should have been locked, how you keep overcoming what was meant to destroy you, tell them it is not by your strength, it is the anointing. When they wonder why you are not afraid of the future, why you do not doubt, why you refuse to settle, tell them it is because you know who you are. You are not ordinary. You are not like everyone else. You are dangerously anointed. Everything you have been through has been leading you to this moment. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment, it was all part of the divine plan. Nothing was wasted, nothing was accidental. The enemy tried to stop you, but he failed. The people who doubted you will watch you rise. The ones who counted you out will see that you were never out. You were just being prepared. The oil that is upon your life will make room for you. The anointing will take you places that human effort never could. You do not need to chase opportunities, they will find you. You do not need to prove yourself, the anointing will speak for you. This is your moment. This is your time. Step into it fully. Walk with confidence. Move with boldness. Do not shrink back. Do not apologize for being chosen. Do not hide what God has placed inside of you. The world needs what you carry. It is time to embrace who you truly are. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are anointed, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion. Keep walking, keep believing, keep declaring, and watch as everything that was promised begins to manifest before your very eyes. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts. Some people will feel drawn to you, as if they recognize something within you that they cannot explain. Others will feel uneasy, uncomfortable in your presence without understanding why. The anointing you carry is not invisible. It is felt, perceived, and even resisted by those who do not understand it. You do not have to announce that you are chosen. The evidence is in the way things move when you enter. The conversations change. The energy in the room adjusts. The anointing carries weight, and whether you like it or not, people will respond to it. You may begin to notice that you can no longer tolerate what you once allowed. The things that used to amuse you now feel empty. The places you once felt comfortable in now make you uneasy. This is not by accident. The anointing sets you apart. It will not allow you to remain where you no longer belong. This separation is necessary. You may lose friends. You may find yourself in isolation. You may even question why certain people have turned against you when you have done nothing to them. Do not be surprised when people begin to distance themselves from you. The anointing forces separation. Those who cannot handle what you carry will remove themselves, and those who are meant to walk with you will be drawn closer. Your spirit will begin to crave more. Ordinary conversations will not satisfy you. Surface-level relationships will no longer be enough. You will hunger for depth, for revelation, for understanding. You will find yourself drawn to wisdom, seeking out truth, and desiring things that others do not. Do not be discouraged when people do not understand you. The anointing does not come with the need for external validation. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to convince anyone of what has been placed inside you. Walk in confidence, knowing that you are being led by something greater than human approval. You will feel an undeniable pull towards something greater, even when you try to ignore it, even when you attempt to blend in. Something within you will not allow you to settle. This is the calling on your life, demanding that you step into it fully. You were not created for mediocrity. You were not designed to live a small, insignificant life. There is a purpose over you that cannot be ignored. The anointing comes with a mission. You may not fully understand it yet, but you will feel it, you will sense it, you will know deep within your spirit that you are meant for more. The enemy recognizes the anointing before you do. This is why your battles have been so intense. This is why you have faced opposition at every turn. The attacks on your life are not random. The resistance you face is not by accident. The enemy does not waste time fighting those who are powerless. He comes after those who are a threat. If you have felt like everything around you has been trying to break you, understand that this is because of what you carry. The anointing makes you a target. But do not fear. Every attack, every trial, every moment of pain is only preparing you. The more pressure applied, the greater the oil that is released. What was meant to destroy you is only refining you. Your prayers will shift. You will no longer pray from a place of desperation, but from a place of authority. You will no longer beg for things, you will declare them. You will no longer ask for permission, you will walk as if it is already done. This is the power of the anointing. Your words will carry weight. When you speak, things will shift. When you declare, things will move. Be mindful of what you say. Be intentional with your words. The anointing does not operate in doubt. It requires unwavering faith, complete confidence, and the ability to see beyond the natural into the supernatural. Doors will open that no man can shut. Opportunities will present themselves that you did not seek. Favor will find you. This is not because of who you are, but because of what you carry. The anointing makes room for itself. You do not have to force things to happen. You do not have to strive. What is meant for you will find you. The anointing attracts provision, resources, and connections. It will bring the right people into your life. It will remove those who are not meant to be there. Trust the process. Trust the movement. Do not cling to what God is trying to remove. Do not hold on to relationships, positions, or situations that no longer align with your purpose. If something is being taken away, it is because something greater is on the way. You will experience moments of great testing. Do not resist the process. The anointing is refined in fire. You cannot carry something this powerful without being tested. There will be seasons where you feel as though everything is being stripped away. You may feel like you are walking through darkness, unsure of what comes next. But this is the preparation. The anointing is not given lightly. It is costly. It requires sacrifice. It requires surrender. Those who are anointed must be willing to be set apart, to be molded, to be transformed. Do not fight the breaking. It is necessary for your elevation. Your discernment will sharpen. You will begin to see things before they happen. You will sense when something is not right. You will feel an uneasiness in your spirit before danger arrives. This is not paranoia. This is divine insight. The anointing allows you to perceive what others cannot. You will no longer make decisions based on what is seen, but on what is revealed. Trust what you feel in your spirit. Trust the warnings you receive. When something does not sit right with you, listen. The anointing protects, it guides, it warns. Pay attention to the nudges, the whispers, the subtle signals. They are not coincidences, they are divine direction. People will misunderstand you. Some will question why you move the way you do, why you believe the way you do, why you refuse to compromise. They will not see what you see. They will not feel what you feel. They will not understand why you cannot conform to what is acceptable. But you are not created to fit in. You were designed to stand out. The anointing does not blend. It is unmistakable. It sets you apart. Do not waste your energy trying to make people understand what they are not meant to grasp. Walk boldly in what you have been given. Everything you have been through has been leading you to this moment. The pain, the rejection, the losses. They were not setbacks, they were setups. They were necessary. They were preparing you. Nothing was wasted. Every experience, every challenge, every delay was working for your good. The anointing is not given to those who have had an easy path. It is reserved for those who have endured, for those who have been tested, for those who have been through the fire and emerged stronger. Do not shrink back. Do not downplay what is inside of you. Do not allow fear, doubt, or insecurity to keep you from stepping into your purpose. You have been chosen for something greater. You have been set apart for a reason. The anointing upon your life is not accidental. It is intentional. Walk in it, own it, embrace it fully. The world is waiting for you to step into who you were created to be. Everything you need is already inside of you. Now is the time. Move forward with confidence. You are not just anointed, you are dangerously anointed. Nothing and no one can stop what has been set in motion. Keep walking, keep believing. Keep declaring. Everything that has been promised is already on its way to you. The weight of the anointing is not something you can run from. It follows you, pressing upon your soul like an unseen force, guiding your steps even when you do not understand where you are going. You may have tried to ignore it, to quiet the call that echoes in the depths of your being, but it will not be silenced. The anointing does not allow you to remain in places that no longer serve your purpose. It will cause you to feel restless in situations that others find comfortable. It will disrupt your sense of normalcy and push you towards something greater. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. There is something different about you, something that others may not be able to define, but they can feel it. You will notice that you cannot engage in certain conversations without feeling a shift in your spirit. The gossip, the meaningless chatter, the idle words, what once seemed harmless will now feel heavy. You will no longer be able to entertain negativity without feeling its weight on your soul. This is the refining of the anointing. Your words carry power, and what you speak, you manifest. The anointing requires discipline over your tongue. You will begin to notice that when you speak, things happen. Doors open, opportunities arise, situations shift. This is why you must be careful with your words. The power within you responds to what you declare. You do not beg for things, you decree them. You do not hope for change, you expect it. This is the authority that comes with being anointed. You will find that your presence alone can make people uneasy. Those who are not aligned with your purpose will react to you even if they do not understand why. Some will be drawn to you, sensing something in you that they cannot explain. Others will be repelled, feeling exposed in the light you carry. Do not take it personally. The anointing will reveal what is hidden. It will expose intentions, uncover motives, and bring the unseen to light. When you are around, masks will fall. Some will be uncomfortable because the presence you carry disrupts the falsehoods they have built their lives upon. They may reject you, but do not let this discourage you. Rejection is often redirection. When someone walks away, it is because they were never meant to be part of your journey. There will be seasons when you feel isolated, misunderstood, and set apart. This is the price of the anointing. You cannot walk in this power and remain surrounded by the same people who once knew you before you stepped into it. The more you grow, the more you will outgrow. The anointing will not allow you to remain small. It will not allow you to stay in places that no longer serve your destiny. You may try to hold on, but things will begin to shift around you. People you thought would always be there will disappear. Opportunities that once seemed secure will close. This is not a punishment, it is preparation. You cannot carry the weight of the anointing while holding on to things that no longer align with your purpose. Your prayers will change. No longer will you pray out of fear or desperation. You will pray with certainty, knowing that what you ask for is already yours. You will begin to see beyond what is in front of you and into what is possible. You will understand that faith is not about seeing, it is about knowing. You will walk with an assurance that confuses others, moving as if what you desire has already manifested. This is because in the realm of the Spirit it already has. The anointing does not wait for external confirmation. It moves in the unseen, bringing forth what has already been decreed. Your mind will be transformed. What once caused you to doubt will no longer shake you. What once made you fearful will no longer have power over you. You will begin to see obstacles as opportunities, struggles as preparation, and setbacks as setups for something greater. The anointing gives you divine vision. Where others see lack, you see abundance. Where others see defeat, you see victory. You will no longer be moved by circumstances because you will understand that everything is working in alignment with your purpose. Attacks will come. Do not be surprised when opposition rises against you. The anointing makes you a target. The enemy does not attack those who have no power. He comes after those who carry something valuable. If you have found yourself in constant battles, understand that this is confirmation of what you carry. The resistance is proof of your calling. The trials are evidence of the anointing upon your life. But know this, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The battle has already been won. The more the enemy tries to break you, the stronger you will become. The more you are pressed, the greater the anointing that flows from you. You will find that you are drawn to solitude, not because you desire to be alone, but because the noise of the world no longer feeds you. The anointing requires time in stillness, in reflection, in communion with the divine. You will crave moments of silence, seeking wisdom in the quiet spaces where clarity is found. The world will try to distract you, to pull you into chaos, to fill your mind with noise, but you will know the value of stillness. You will understand that power is not found in striving, but in surrender. The anointing is not given to those who seek the approval of man, but to those who seek the presence of God. The way you move will change. You will walk with confidence, not because of who you are, but because of what resides within you. You will no longer seek validation from external sources. You will not need people to affirm what you already know. The anointing is not about appearance. It is about presence. You will step into rooms and command attention without saying a word, not because you seek it, but because the anointing cannot be ignored. It carries authority, it carries power, and those who recognize it will respond. Everything you touch will prosper. This is not arrogance, it is divine alignment. When you are walking in your anointing, doors will open effortlessly. What others struggle to achieve, you will accomplish with ease. This is not because you are better, it is because you are operating in purpose. The anointing creates a flow, a divine orchestration where things align in perfect timing. You will not have to chase opportunities. They will come to you. You will not have to force things to happen. They will unfold as they are meant to. The anointing attracts favor, it brings provision, it makes a way where there was none. You will no longer live in fear. The anointing removes the limitations of the mind. It breaks the chains of doubt, insecurity, and hesitation. You will move with a boldness that others do not understand. They will question how you remain so certain, how you continue to stand when everything around you is shaking. But you will know the truth. You will know that the power within you is greater than anything outside of you. You will know that you are guided, protected, and divinely positioned. Your past will no longer define you. The anointing has the power to break cycles, to shift destinies, to rewrite stories. What was once meant to destroy you will be used to elevate you. The pain you endured, the struggles you faced, the battles you fought, they were all necessary. They refined you, they prepared you, they shaped you into who you were always meant to be. Nothing was wasted. Every experience, every hardship, every moment of brokenness was part of your transformation. Do not be afraid to walk in your anointing. Do not shrink yourself to make others comfortable. Do not dim your light to fit in. You were not created to be ordinary. You were not designed to blend in. The anointing upon your life is not meant to be hidden. It is meant to shine, to impact, to transform. Walk in it boldly. Own it fully. Step into everything that has been prepared for you. You are dangerously anointed, and nothing can stop what has already been set in motion. Keep moving forward, keep believing, keep walking in purpose. Everything that has been promised is already yours. You are not ordinary. You have been set apart, chosen, and divinely positioned for something greater. The anointing upon your life is not a burden, but a gift, a sacred responsibility that requires boldness, faith, and unwavering trust in the unseen. The challenges you face are not meant to break you, but to refine you, to prepare you for the destiny that has already been written. Do not fear the isolation, the opposition, or the weight of your calling. These are signs that you are walking in divine purpose. The anointing upon you will make a way, open doors, and bring forth everything that has been promised. You are a vessel of power, a carrier of light, a force that cannot be stopped. Stand firm in who you are. Walk with confidence, move in faith. Let the world see the manifestation of the divine within you. You are dangerously anointed, and nothing can stand in the way of what has already been decreed over your life. Keep going. Your time is now.